Universal synergy. How many of you have been, shall we say, particularly synergetic today?
Yes, a lot.
Everybody else?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes! You're all synergetic right now. You're working together as one particular group. And you're all a universe within yourselves. You have literally created your own stars. You have literally created your own galaxies. You have literally created your own dimensional constructs. But Adronis, I'm just flesh and blood. I'm just bone. I'm just material upon this planet. How could we possibly create our own universe, our own dimensions, our own Earth, our own stars, our own galaxy, our own universe? Well, since you asked so nice, we'll tell you. Thank you. The whole idea is that each and every single one of you in every single moment forms the idea of a continuum. This continuum to which each and every single one of you are is envisioned as a funnel, a vortex of energy. When all of you begin to come together, those vortexes of energy connect. They create a core. They create a consistency. They create a symmetry. Therefore, a whole new universe pertaining to infinite potential becomes born within this very moment of your presences together. Universal synergy is the ability for you to bring forth synchronous ideas, synchronous energies, synchronous energetics together, combining themselves as one and learning off each other as you are all continuums within yourselves. So, therefore, you're all sharing your planet Earths together with each other right now. You're all sharing your galaxies, your stars, your universes, your dimensions together with each other right now. The greatest way that you are able to understand another person is when you do not feel that you have some type of idea about them. That you feel that, well, there's something judgmental I'm getting relating to this particular individual today. He or she may not feel very happy. There's no smile on their faces. Oh, why did they dress in that color of shirt? What type of car are they driving today? Oh, those are pieces of junk. Whatever particular form of interpretation you create through preconceived notion, this creates a kink within synergy. When a person, when a being, functions together in harmony together with you, you are literally creating the amalgamation of two universes to become one, two funnels of continuum to become one. You can learn an awful lot from each other. We would ask you now to look to the person that is next to you in any direction. And we ask you now just to look in their eyes for a moment. And just notice the creation within their eyes. And just notice the spark of spirit within the windows of the soul. And just notice the heart beating within their chest, physically and energetically, just as your own. Go ahead and say hello to each other.
Hello.
And we would ask each of you now to say one strong thing about yourself to that other. Go.
I'm 27 years old. 44.
I am an original human.
Anybody else? Alright, so what we heard is I am 27 years old. I am 44 years old. I am an original human being. Well, if you find power in that, blessed to you. What we would also ask to both of you now is to take a moment to shake hands. And do this for several seconds. Let it be a bond unlike anything you've felt before. Go. No one wishes to shake our hand? Thank you.
Next.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You'd like to say about yourself?
Thank you. Some of you really have beautiful Vaseline on your hands today.
Coconut oil.
We thank you. And just all go back to your seats now. How did that moment of synergy feel?
Cool.
It was cool, or warm, or hot, whatever you prefer.
Heartfelt.
Heartfelt, yes. Anything else? Did it not feel one? Did you feel that you were literally shaking hands with yourself?
Yeah.
Did you feel that you were literally staring into your own eyes? Did you feel that you were noticing the traits of your own strengths together?
Yes.
That is the understanding. Is that all of you have been able to create universes that hold these bridges of continuums, these funnels of vortexes, to where you have all understood, well, I'm just interacting with myself. I'm allowing myself to work together in universal synergy with all those that represent who I am. And this is truly the key of how you are operating on the planet. Imagine that if you walk down the busy streets, that every single person wants to shake your hand, that every single person wants to look you in the eye, that every single person has the ability to notate their strengths to you. Hi, I'm 27. Well, that's one idea. They may return and saying, I have a Kleenex in my pocket. Well, that is a strength as well too. Let a person blow their nose from the joy that you have given from the tears shed. Yes? Yes.
Yes.
So, this is what we encourage all of you to do, is being the example of what you wish to become on your collective world. That there really is no the earth. There's only your earth. Combined, you make the illusion that there is a world, a planet called Earth, with a beautiful blue sky, with beautiful oceans, with beautiful land, with beautiful vegetation, with beautiful animals, and with beautiful human beings. Adronis, did you call us beautiful? Yes, we did! Thank you! For that is our perspective of you. But Adronis, we have wars. But Adronis, we have impoverishment. That's because you're still attempting to understand the nature of universal synergy. You're still attempting to understand what it's like to work together in a group, just as you're learning right now. Did it take a lot of effort for you all to shake hands?
No.
No.
No. Did it take a lot of effort for all of you to stare into each other's eyes?
No.
Did it take a lot of effort for you to notice your strength?
No.
No.
Oh, all right. We're glad to hear that. Let more strengths come through this. Just imagine that tomorrow you wake up, you stretch yourself out, you get ready for the day, you step out your front door, and you start working together with other people by, again, just smiling at them, just staring in their eyes with a look of love, by shaking their hands and saying, hi, I'm Joe, I'm your neighbor, I've been living with you for 20 years, right beside you, and now is the first day that I decide to shake your hand. That's it. You've created a universal synergy. You've bonded two universes together with their own planet, their own stars, their own galaxies, their own dimensions. Everything contained into one. This is the human experience. This is why you're on this planet. 7 billion people aren't here for decoration.
No.
They're here to be noticed. They're here to live. They're here to work together. You do understand that the human race is a societal species. That's why you're all here. So, if you feel that there are shynesses, that there is timidness coming through you, acknowledge that. Well, you know what? I do feel a little bit uncomfortable shaking my neighbor's hand after he, in that sense, worked in the garden all morning. My hand might get dirty. All right, that's something for you to consider in that sense. What's wrong with a smile? Is your smile going to get dirty? So look into the whole idea of how you can interact in your own way. We're not saying for you to bump into a stranger and have an 8-hour-long conversation with them, but your own expression of the acknowledgement of their existence is exactly what all of you want to experience. What does it feel like when you're walking down a street and someone whom you've never met before smiles at you and saying, "Have a wonderful day"? How does it feel?
Feels great. Life-giving.
Yes. Everybody's so quiet. How does it feel?
Wonderful. Yeah.
We hear crickets in the background.
That's you.
All right.
On your chair.
But this is the whole idea. Your own ownership of the moment, of understanding exactly how another person is interacting together with you, will help you understand how you can interact with them in equal joy. That's the key. So let that be some homework for you. That if you feel that there have been some challenging times within your reality, that there have been some challenging times in your life, all you really need to do is find your strengths, find your trait, know where your love is in your heart, how you wish to interpret it, and walk out the front door. That's where your earth is. It's not always contained within the sanctum of your environment because that's your space of love. But the world itself is looking to become your space of love. Make your world your space of love. What we mean by that is that your space of love is all that represents your security. Your security of how you function, of how you live yourself through the essence of love, is being able to make all of those particular forms of connections with everybody else on your planet to realize how you are one. It doesn't matter in regards to how they have functioned through dramatic cycles. They are you. You are them. You've all come together in this Gods in Training Academy known as Earth. You're all gods in training. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, now you do. What do you mean, Adronis, that we're all gods in training? Simply because you hold what's known as a universal model archetype. Your body is an expression conduit relating to the bands of facilitation of experience. Therefore, being able to do something completely opposite to yourself and then come back into your genuine nature is something so extraordinary that only a God-like being themselves can do. That's why you're all gods in training. We're not saying that you snap your fingers and all of a sudden a loaf of bread appears on your counter. But the whole idea here is that what we're saying is that your own ability to create, your own ability to express, holds the bandwidth of the rainbow spectrum in all the ways that you can share through yourselves. That is a God-like mentality. Not to mention what you're all capable of doing with imagination. Every thought that you experience through yourselves births a universe. Every single one of those universes is contained at the subatomic level from what you would understand based upon the natural understanding of perception. You're all birthing universes every single moment you exist, as long as thought continues to flow through you. As long as you're breathing in and breathing out and experiencing this reality, you're creating the multiverse in its totality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. We thank you very much. So, in conclusion, we wish to state that continue to work with other individuals, continue to truly, astonishingly realize that you are going through this transformational shift. Realize that you are all together to be here in union, holding hands as you usher in a new era for literally becoming a fourth density civilization, a telepathic civilization, a beautiful, unified, harmonious, heart-centered, galactic civilization.
That's cool.
We think so. That's your future.
That's cool.
That's exactly where you're all going. It will not be long, shall we say, till you are, shall we say, amongst the stars. You're all in training right now to literally be teachers for other beings on other worlds that are going through somewhat of a similar, shall we say, situation collectively as all of you.
So when are we going to shut down the electrical lights?
Well, the whole idea of the electrical lights is that they literally can be shut down at any time. But the whole idea is being able to discover what technology really works for you. Is it really bad to have electricity? Well, no. It's all based upon how that electricity generates. Look in the ideas of what you would know as your own Nikola Tesla, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Well, what's stopping you from getting that out? The whole idea is that the more you give your power away to all of these particular branches that really do not represent yourselves collectively, the more of the delay happens. So again, this is a universal synergetic moment that you're all looking to bond, to gel. The people themselves are going to bring forward all of these together. It's not about waiting for the government. It's not about waiting for procedure. It's about waiting for yourselves.
That's right.
All right?
That's right.
We thank you very much, and we will now move forward into the question and answer period of this particular segment. So, thank you very much, all of you. How may we assist you today?
I have a question.
Yes, we thought you might.
Last January I learned to have a soulmate.
All right.
That her name is Demetria Devon Lovato.
All right.
And I would like to ask about her whereabouts and how she's doing and just general information about her. I'm telepathically connected to her. We talk all day.
All right. So why would you need to ask about how she's doing?
Because I just want affirmation about our relationship.
Why would you need an affirmation? Again, you're already connected. So again, where that telepathic bond comes from, where does it emerge? How does a telepathic bond form?
Between two minds.
Love is the key. You are synergetically connected based upon your state of perceiving love. She feels, in that sense, a void contained within herself because your presence is not there. There is no feeling of, shall we say, physical form that is reciprocating the energies that she can express in a physical way as what has been shared previously telepathically.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the whole idea is that, let us put it in this way, that let's imagine that one of your parents, in that sense, who have been very, very close to you, decides to go off overseas to where you are left at home. Now you feel this incredible love bond between your parent and yourself, but their physical presence isn't there to anchor in that security, that fulfillment that prevents a void from happening. Yes? This is similar from what we are sensing in regards to the vibrations of your energy that she is feeling as well for Dimitri.
We're both feeling a void within each other because we're not in the physical presence of each other.
Correct. So again, it's the anchor of the vessel, shall we say, that has plotted itself together in the water, dropped its anchor, and feeling grounded. That's the whole idea. So much of the energy is there, but not too much of, shall we say, the physicalized grounding feeling of togetherness.
So is that a bad thing?
Well, it's all to you. How do you feel about it?
I feel it's not a bad thing, it's just an urgency for us to connect.
There you go. So that's the whole idea, but that's how she feels inside. There is that missing of that feeling of the anchorage between yourself and her, from what we can sense.
And how long, Adronis, do you think it'll take for us to be in physical presence?
That all depends on you, because everything truly happens instantaneously. So it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, it could be next year. It all depends on you. If you are truly passionate and wanting to get to her quickly, all of this can change tomorrow. That's the whole idea. Future is never set in stone because it doesn't exist. There are an infinite amount of timelines that literally bond themselves together based upon the momentum of energies on a collective, co-creational level and an individualized creational level. So it's basically asking yourself and saying, when do I want to be together with her? Do I feel I can do this very, very soon? Well, then there's nothing stopping you from doing that.
So the star charts say that it'll be in January.
The star charts can say that. However, the whole idea here is that it's momentum. Again, what you're doing is you're relying on what's written in stone. Here's our advice in regards to star charts. Are you ready? Take them with a grain of salt. That's the whole idea. Star charts represent the idea of momentum. They represent the idea of opportunity. It doesn't mean that it is impossible for you to go into that particular level in regards to that form of event. But basically what it's saying is that the bandwidth pertaining to that aspect of coming together synergetically is very thin. That doesn't mean it's impossible. All particular forms of momentum can still be applied even if there is only a hair's chance of manifesting together in what may not be an aligned month, shall we say, prospectively through the idea of astrology. Make sense?
Yes.
So, many of your ancient shamans have even said themselves that even when a psychic has given a 99.99999% chance that this will definitely happen, there's still that 0.0000001 that the shaman clings to. And that is basically what turns it all around, through their bases of soul retrieval, through their bases of working together in spirit. Anything can be transformed around regardless of its momentum, because the possibility, no matter how slim, is still there. Make sense?
Adronis, I would like to ask you about personality and love.
Well, first, did that make sense?
Sorry, yes it did. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
You wish to ask us which?
About personality, love, and how that is fundamental to the universe.
All right.
How is personality and love fundamental?
Personality is an invention. It is something that you all have personally created. Really, the universe has no personality at all. Really, the universe is personal-less. Literally, the universe is meaningless. You're the ones that are putting all of the definition into everything that you receive because you have been bred into meaning. You have been bred into personification. You have been bred into identity. So when you are literally feeling love, here's the key. Love is not an emotion. Love is a state of being. It helps you to move more into what you understand as the totality of the essence of genuine nature. That is what you are. When you are born into this world, you are not in that sense evil. You are not in that sense feeling that you are, shall we say, obligated to achieve something. When you're a newborn baby, what do you feel?
Please.
Unconditional love for your surroundings. Everything is amazing. Everything is curious. I have 5 fingers on my hand. I have arms. I have feet. Isn't this very interesting? However, what has really tainted the idea of birth is how you have come into the world. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So again, this is where personality itself is all part of programming. Through how your parents raise you, for how you go into these schools, these educational factors, for how you have your jobs, for how you decide to select your friends in that sense. Everything that represents the stars, everything that represents astrology, everything that represents orbits and phases of everything that you understand as existence is clockwork that is projecting itself outside of you, that is telling you what you're like inside. Does that give you an idea? So, astrology itself is not the determiner of your reality. You know that, right?
Correct.
It is the clockwork externally telling you what's going on inside yourself. This is why we say, take it with a grain of salt, because it's a reflection that's telling you what you're currently aligned to. There are an infinite amount of potentials that can truly come forward in that moment, that literally can change everything around. But because many of you are based upon the state of feeling that linearity is the way of reality, you are stuck within the concepts of confines based upon linear-based, shall we say, understandings. So again, love and personality itself are 2 different things. Personality represents programming. Love represents naturalness. That's the idea.
Thank you. Very clear.
Does that help you?
Anybody else? Yeah, I have a question, Adronis.
Yes.
You mentioned about how we were brought into the world.
Yes.
Because I do initiations of innocence.
Yes, and we are very happy for you, and we send you a big hug for that, and thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you. I am wondering, can you foresee the concept of the importance of how babies are brought into the world, coming into mass consciousness pretty soon?
It will be in that sense a work in progress. There will be much who needs to understand exactly how a baby needs to be brought forward into the world. that it is in that sense upon the time to where the birth of the child itself is conceived is where the work begins. That through the very idea, that through the conception point, oh my goodness, something's starting to happen. Understand that at the point of conception, it takes 49 days for the soul to fully mature within the body. This is in that sense even in accordance to what you would understand as your Tibetan Book of the Dead. That through the 49 days contained within that aspect, these are the 49 days of beginning to move yourself into the orientation of welcoming that new life into the environment of your space, onto the earth. That as the belly itself starts to expand itself, so should the expansion of your love for every single aspect that that child can represent. When it is born into a space of love, it will become that for as long as you can consistently maintain that love, that welcoming of the newborn soul contained upon this world.
Yes, I understand that.
And for
So-
those that were not born into that space of love, what to do?
To work into integration to make that love possible. So again, how would you feel that every single person whom you meet represents that essence of a newborn baby? It would really change your perspective of how you view the world, because you're moving into the state of innocence. The innocence itself truly is all life contained upon your planet, no matter how programmed, still represents the natural state of love within it. Look deep into the spark of that love, that newborn baby feeling that you see through all of you right now. You're all that. You were all a newborn baby at some point. Go back to that moment. Go back to that essence of innocence. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Any other questions?
Oh, I have a question.
I have a
about-
question.
All right, we heard
Okay,
you first.
let AJ first.
Yes. And then we'll move to AJ's question.
Okay. What would you say is the energy, what sparks the energy of addiction? Adronis, like, I understand that it moves through families, but I'm getting away from the thing about being
All right.
born to it.
It's one word, and we have it right here. Do you see
Right.
it? Do you see it?
No.
L-A-C-K. Lack. That is what creates addiction. Whenever you feel that there is a lack of something and you feel that something is beyond your reach, that you feel you cannot get to, that lack drives you into particular forms of attempting to fill a void. And that's where lack comes in. So literally, the lack itself of feeling I can't do this. I was not able to explore the world. I was not able to resonate very well with my partner. I did not feel loved by my parents. I did not feel loved by my siblings. I was betrayed a certain way. Was all based upon where you feel the lack of your own personal empowerment has come forward and it has generated this response. Make sense?
In that sense, what differences does it make between a person who needs to define themselves through their wealth versus a person who escapes into drugs or alcohol?
They both represent commonality. Because the whole idea, if a person feels that they compensate life by how much money is in their bank account, that becomes their alcohol. That becomes their drug.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. How do you heal an addict? You don't. That's the whole idea. The addict heals themselves.
Yes.
What we basically encourage many to do, who are in that sense recovering from particular addictions, is to continue to do what they do in the mindset of saying, this is my highest, best joy while I'm doing this for my body. What you have just done is create a subliminal program. Through this particular subliminal program, you are saying that I am continuing to do this, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether it be the love for money, that this is all in the highest, best joy of my being. You know that it isn't. And therefore, the cycle starts to reverse itself because the mind can't make sense of that. Wait a minute, this isn't the highest, best joy for my body, for my reality, because I am continuing to suffer. Therefore, that gives you the inclination to transform. So again, it's not about therapists, it's not about counselors, it's about you. Now, people can always share, and they can always suggest ideas pertaining to the idea of one who is going through addiction. But the greatest form of realizing where they are is the ability to listen to them. That everything is off the table and that you are open ears. I am addicted to this because. All right? Thank you very much for your sharing. Again, realizing that they exist. Realizing that there is value in the words, not going, oh dear, no, not that again. That's what shuts them down to continue to do it more. When you have an open heart and when you listen and you tell them and saying, well, is this something that represents the highest, best nature of yourself, of what you're putting into your body, of what you're feeling life represents? They continue to do it, and they realize it through themselves by constantly reminding this when they do that addiction, whatever it may be, saying, this is my highest, best joy of what I'm doing. And they realize it's not. The mind program funnels itself together. The positive click comes together, and realization sinks in. I do this now because it is no longer a part of my reality to function as I was as an addict. But again, really, many of us, in that sense, are addicts. It just comes through in different ways. There is an addiction to television. There is an addiction to internet. There is an addiction to coffee. There is an addiction to, in that sense, clapping your hands continuously when no one else is clapping. So whatever it may be, it's simply the mannerisms of habitual nature that you don't realize that you're doing in regards to a discomfort. When it no longer feels that that habit is present, you have created that state of realization to change. Mm-hmm. It's going back to the old saying that once you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up. Mm-hmm. All right?
So basically it's just being grateful for whatever is.
Well, the whole idea is being honest with yourself. Because you may feel that I am grateful for about to drink down this alcohol, when really you're not. The whole idea is that you're being authentic to yourself. Do I feel that I'm in resonance for the gratefulness of reaching for that whiskey bottle? No, I don't. So therefore, I'm no longer grateful for that. I'm authentic. I'm being myself, of moving into a different direction. Not because I have to. If I feel I have to change, you won't. When you feel that it is a natural impulse to change, that's when you change. So it's not about gratitude. Gratitude can often represent the idea in some ways pertaining to forcefulness. So when you are moving more into the idea of saying, I make myself grateful for this. No, you're moving yourself into the natural impulse. When you go into your dietary changes, you do it because that's the natural impulse. Your body is communicating with you and saying, Joe, Jenny, please don't drink any more of that liquor. Please don't have any more of those processed foods. Your body is screaming at you and you're feeling it. And therefore, it becomes a natural rhythm to begin trying these different things that you personally enjoy. Oh my goodness, why didn't I discover this type of food before? Why didn't I discover drinking alkaline water the way that this has come forward? It's a change. I'm going to make this happen. How did that take place? Your own comfort in realization that this is possible. Mm-hmm. That's the key. All right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
AJ, you had a question.
I have two questions.
Yes.
I was wondering if I need to move in order to get another cat. And I ask this because administration in my apartment is cracking down on their no cat policy or no pet policy.
All right, so you're looking to have a cat within your space.
That's right.
All right. Well, we would basically put it in this way because it's not really a yes or a no. It's the whole idea that if, by chance, your passion to bring forward a cat into your space holds a great deal of resistance to your own personal rapport of how others may react within your space, it may be wise to looking into a space where that anxiety does not exist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically what we're saying here is that yes, you most certainly could have a cat within your apartment. But again, what would be the repercussions? Oh my goodness, I hope no one finds out about this, that I have a cat, and may literally create an unpleasant situation that I'm going through. So the other alternative, which would be the path of least resistance, is looking at the idea of a space that you truly call your own, where pets are always welcome. would that not be the easier choice, the simpler choice in that sense?